And it's live. Hey guys, Gogsy here, and welcome back to Matchday Live with Passamike, installment 3 of 4 of the Passamike Weekender. Today we are covering Kilmarnock versus Rangers. It's just me for the time being, but we'll be having some more guests coming on very soon in the form of Stevie and your boy Frasquandro. We've already got one comment saying, hello, Gerard squad. First of all, we're going to start off with the Kilmarnock starting 11 today. So Danny Rogers in goal. Then you've got Ross Millen at right back, Broadfoot and Finlay in centre half. Waters, Power, Dicker, Chibola, Burke, Kabamba and McKenzie. And for Rangers, pretty much same usual suspects apart from a couple. McGregor in goal, Tavernier right back, Goldson, Helander, Barisic make up the back four. Jack, Arfield, and Aribo make up the midfield three, and up front it's Morelos, Kent, and Itten. Hello, Carrots. It's good to be back. Yes, we are back for another shift. I better put it on the socials. You'll be asking for my prediction. My prediction today is 2-0 Rangers. I think they'll get the job done early, and then they'll probably sit back and relax for the second half. It'll be boring to watch, but what can you do when you've got European football? Morning, Sheriff. I mean, it is morning to me. I was up at 11:20, so I had to scramble to get everything ready. But good to see everyone back. It's a lovely through ball. And it's a throw to Rangers in the attacking half. And they've given it away. Afternoon, Niall. How's it going? Let's get your predictions in the chat. What do you think the score's going to be? Something off with this tea. Absolutely buzzing about the win yesterday. I mean, I couldn't watch the game because I never got the actual stream, but I happily take the 2-0 win. I watched the highlights in Sports Scene. We were good. It was a scrappy game at times, but delighted with the 3 points. It's going well. It's going well. Carrot says everyone's still sleeping. I take it, Gogsy, and I'm going 2-1 Killie. Yeah, good win yesterday. 2-0 Rangers. Sheriff 1-2 says 3-0 or 3-1 to Rangers. Hey, Stevie, how's it going, mate?
What's happening? How are we doing?
Oh, it's no bad, mate. No bad. You've not missed much. It's still 0-0.
I've been watching it. It's just this laptop's a heap of shite, mate.
Don't worry about it, man. Ryan Dunbar says a stuffy 1-0 Rangers. Hello, Joanne McTavish.
Well, I've went for a couple of shocks today, Gogsy. I've got Aberdeen are drawing, Kilmarnock are draw today.
Oh, interesting. Fuck's sake, 1-0 Southampton. This is the point where Aston Villa just starts to deteriorate. Yeah.
I took a draw in that one and one of my other companies.
I never take a draw.
Oh man, Rangers have started well here.
Aye.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Good win for us yesterday, wasn't it?
Oh, it delighted me. Stevie, where have you been, bro? Says Carrots.
You don't want to know. You don't want to know where I've been, man. In my bed.
Me too, mate. I only got up at 11:20.
I didn't fall asleep till 6 o'clock this morning. Woke up at 10 to 11.
I know that feel, bro.
Didn't
hello, Andrew Rooney. Thanks, Joanne. Love you too. Walking in a Stevie Wonderland.
At least some days.
The game kicked off 6 minutes ago. Gogsy Arla, Jesus. Hi Stevie, enjoyed your podcast with Tam and Stuart. Finally got down to listening to it. Spoke really well. Tell you something, Stevie, you might be on to something with the Rangers v Killie draw.
I just think it's a plastic pitch.
Yeah.
I just think it's such a big factor. And particularly Kilmarnock, because that's one of the worst out of the three in the league.
Mm. Ross Lockhart being off shagging.
Nah, I'm not lucky. I'm not that lucky, mate.
I think lockdown's playing a big factor in anyone's sex life at the moment. It's the massive cock block. Jesus Christ, I've got Martinez and McGinn in my FPL. I've not even got an English Premier League fantasy football team this year.
No, it's got to the point where I've forgot about it. I've got both the SPL and the SPFL rather in the English Premier League, and I just don't bother with them anymore.
I know it comes to the point saying about November, December time where I forget everything, and then I realise, oh, this player's not actually in the league anymore. I'm like,
I'm pretty sure I've still got Scott Allen in my 11 from my SPFL, and he's retired. But it's that one of the ones, if you're not top of the league, you don't really care.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Libby's pitch is worse, but we won on that, so we're not complaining.
Horrible game, wasn't it?
I didn't watch it, mate.
Did you not see it?
It wouldn't let me in.
It wouldn't let you in?
Because apparently you couldn't buy the stream after 2:30.
That's just some sort of joke, that.
It's strange because my dad went and bought one about 2:45, and he got on fine, but I couldn't get on it.
But it's like, clubs need money, why would they? They should do what they do at the turnstiles and let people in as long as they're paying before half time.
Exactly.
Morelos has went down injured, by the way.
Oh, great.
She's groin, I think.
He's in my fantasy team. I took the captaincy off him because he was doubtful.
I think last season this would have been a big worry for Rangers, but this season I think they've got enough cover if he does need to come off.
All right, well, they've got Defoe,
and then they've got Roof as well. So they've got plenty of options. That's been one of the things about them this season. They've added really well.
Yeah. Carrot says if Aki's survive another year, oh my, they somehow keep staying up there.
They're the Sunderland. Well, I was going to say they're the Sunderland of Scotland, but Sunderland are in League One now. But there was a period of time that Sunderland just used to refuse to get relegated.
Yeah.
Every season they would be doing the boots, and then the last couple of games they would just win a couple of games. I remember because I'm a Newcastle supporter. I remember when Di Canio was in, they won. I'm sure they won at St James's Park, and then they won at Stamford Bridge in the same running.
Aye. Yeah, as Stevie said, Scott Allen retired. Yes, Matthew said he'll try and be on for the Aberdeen Celtic game because he's got a Sunday League game today. No, he's not playing. Don't worry. He's coaching, and yeah, love when Loudmouth and Fraser are on.
Oh, it's easier when there's 40, isn't it?
Yeah, so much easier.
A lot better to bounce it off people, and I don't know.
Aye, the patter's flowing.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
What did you think of the derby yesterday?
I thought it was a good game. Like, it was a slow start, but the second half was brought to life as soon as Hearts scored.
I know, but it was the minute the goal went in, the game just sparked to life. But extra time was mental, wasn't it?
Aye, that was really happened. I mean, I think Hearts deserved to win over the piece.
Oh, I disagree slightly. I thought Hibs had the better chances.
They had the better chances, but Hearts controlled the possession.
I done a review of the game which is going out today, and I kind of said Hibs were slightly better, but on the balance of the game, penalties probably would have been fair. Do you know what I mean? But like, it's one of the ones. I just thought I would have tipped it slightly in Hibs' favour, but see, to be fair to Hearts took their chances, and Kevin Nisbet, I'm sure he didn't sleep last night.
No.
After that save for Gordon, and then
no, he hit the bar. I didn't think he saved it.
No, I'm talking about the one in the first half.
Oh, right.
The one in the first half, and then he hit the bar for the penalty. So he could easily have had a brace. And then there was a couple of times where they could have slipped him in, or boy, see if they just made the right decision in the final third. But
yeah,
no. I think what turned it was see when Hearts put on Stevie Naismith. That's what turned the game, I think. Because you just get in the pockets between midfield and defence.
Aye, but most I'll tell you one thing. Most of the time, I didn't even notice he was playing when he was actually on the pitch.
But it's not that; it's the space he creates for the others. Gogsy with his movement.
You're very right there. You are very right there. Another chance for Rangers there. Aribo on the edge of the box, and it's just put it over the bar. It's checking the comments, see what everyone has to say. Favourite well player, lads? Got to be Tony Watt for me, legend. Aye, be my favourite player if you didn't patch me, the cunt.
Did they patch you? Aye.
I asked him on the podcast about 7 or 8 weeks ago, and they patched me.
Oh well, fuck that then. But no, on a serious note, from a Motherwell perspective, it's just good to see what looks like a real Tony Watt back.
Yeah, he's actually doing bits now.
Yes, and I think when you look at our front three, there's goals there now. The front three that started yesterday. If we can get Tony Watt playing, Devante Cole, he's added a wee bit of guile to the attack, just with his decision making in the final third yesterday. And then Callum Lang as well. So it's weird because we've not really noticed Chris Long this season, and he was brilliant for this last
season. Don't get me wrong. I have noticed Chris Long, and he's been shit.
Why do you think though? Why do you think that is?
I just think he was looking for a bigger club in the summer, and then he's just signed on just to make sure he's actually playing football still.
And we were last option.
Yeah.
Aye, well, I think that seems right. He doesn't seem to be in the right place.
No.
At the minute.
I mean, I wouldn't start him.
No, definitely no. No, after yesterday as well. And even in the game where they did start last week against Ross County, I don't think he did well.
No.
He didn't contribute much. Sorry.
Carrot says, Goxie, remember when Aaron and Aidan said about Alexa and Loudmouth went off. Yeah, it was a good laugh. One of my favourite clips we've actually got this. I think Lennon will be sacked this month, maybe. I mean, it's a bit hard predicting a manager to go, but...
See if they get beat today, I think they'll sack him.
Really?
Yes. Yep. Especially if Rangers win as well. Because then they'll be... I know they're playing in the Cup today, but then they'll be 9 points behind Rangers. They've got their 2 games in hand, but their form doesn't suggest where they're going to get the next one from. And even one of the games in hand
against Motherwell next week.
I think, honestly, this will probably come back and bite me in the arse, but I really fancy our chances against them next week. I really do. So here's hoping Lennon's still in a job, in fact.
I want Celtic to win today because that takes the pressure off.
Going into the game against us?
Yeah.
Aye, no, it's absolutely. You never want to be playing against a wounded animal.
I know.
Never.
No, because
Celtic
are most dangerous when they've not had a shot on target yet.
Aye, definitely. And especially when they've got the likes of Edward coming back to fitness, and it's just... But I think what it suits us is our pitch is really tight. So what I would do is I'd just give them the wide areas, let them have them, and just compact the middle of the pitch and defend deep. Honestly. Try and hit them on the counter with like Lang, Watt and Cole.
Ryan Dunbar says, I genuinely had no idea he'd retired. Had potential when he went to Celtic, done nothing and faded away. Shame, really good player. Niall Kane says it was a good game, but he's glad that Hearts won for Big Zal. No, I don't want to talk about managers getting sacked. It's not for me personally. Yeah, I've heard a few things about Chris Long, but thing is, Motherwell fans are usually in love with a striker that can run for days and give their all, but you don't really get that with Chris Long, I don't think.
No. Well, to be honest, I thought we did last season, Gogsy. I just don't think we're getting it this year. You look at some of his goals. I mean, the one at Tinker, a lot of his goals came from running in behind. Do you know what I mean? Or just being in the right place. But see, if our player's not there mentally. I mean, a prime example is a guy that we've got now, Tony Watt.
Aye,
he went missing for the he's went missing for a few years. Now he's back. Maybe all Chris Long needs is a couple of goals, but he's an option at least. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
He's a good option to have to come in still, but he's not the player that we had last season.
Oh.
Motherwell next week, Lennon will be banning. They bother. Sorry, I'm just reading the comments to myself
there. Tom Keys never liked Chris Long. He has all the skills to be a top striker, good shot on him, and he's rapid, but his work ethic is far off the mark, and he often goes a whole 90 minutes unnoticed. I wouldn't say unnoticed. Like he does do a few things off the ball, but then again, if you're watching the ball, you're not going to notice the off the ball stuff.
Gogsy, Rangers are playing a game of football. What do you think's happened?
Have they got a penalty?
It's a Stonewall, right enough. Absolute Stonewall.
I'm a wee bit behind you. I'm at the free kick.
Right, do you want me to hold off? With a goal?
I hold on.
Score it.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's for a handball. Because I didn't see anything.
Yeah, it was a handball.
Comes in. Goldson's got the header and it hits off 22.
Is it no Chris Bucket hits? No, that's no Chris
Bucket. Ross
Millen. Aye.
And Tavernier stepping up. Here we go. Yeah, 1-0. There we go. As expected, Tavernier.
Yep. Rangers penalty.
One time I bet on a penalty to be given in a game was on Thursday, and they didn't get a penalty.
Oh man, there wasn't even a penalty shout either. But nah, that was a stonewaller for me.
Yeah, that's a solo. I mean, if his arm's up, then that's penalty. Anyway, I'm trying to make my way through the comments. But then who comes in? That's the question. Well, that's the thing. Neil Lennon has never been sacked. He's always walked from the clubs he's been at. That's wrong. He got sacked at Bolton. Andrew Rooney, Motherwell next week. Lennon will be banging on Peter Lawwell's door, begging for his job back. Well, the thing is, the last time Celtic changed the manager, it was on the back of a Motherwell game. The thing is, Motherwell are notorious for being the last team to put the nail in the coffin before a manager gets sacked or leaves their club. And of course, well, it was the game that Motherwell got beat by Celtic 4-1 when James Scott did that madness. It was brilliant. I mean, everyone who's not a Celtic fan would agree that was top-class shithousery.
Oh, it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. I was watching the game on the stream and I just sat and laughed. Actually, I didn't even celebrate the goal, just sat laughing. Because I refused to go to Celtic Park just because of the view.
Aye.
And the price you need to pay for it.
I actually got started on at Kilmarnock train station because I was wearing a Motherwell scarf.
I mean, I don't think that's reflective on Celtic supporters. It's just every team's got a section of dicks.
Oh, I know that. But right. What happened, right, was obviously because I was going back into Glasgow Central and there's all these Celtic fans around me, and of course Motherwell fans are going the other direction. So I'm the only Motherwell fan on the platform going back into Glasgow, and then someone comes around, sees my Motherwell scarf. He's like, "Are you fucking happy with that?" I was like, "No, we got beat 4-1." And he was like, and he replied, "No, I'm talking about that fucking James Scott cunt." And he was just ranting and raving. I just cracked a smile. He was like, "What do you find so funny about that?" I was like, "Because you get away with that all the time."
Some people.
And of course, someone actually had to butt in and just hold the guy off from going at me because, I mean, there's all these Celtic fans. I mean, any decent Celtic fan would admit that Celtic get away with murder at the best of times.
So, but even at that, isn't it your fault that James Scott decided to run?
I know. You're taking it out on what, a 19-year-old kid because someone else probably about the same age as me is just going and done that. I mean, I said just be happy you won the game because at times it felt like we were actually coming back into that match.
People like that just go to the games to give them something to moan about, mate.
Oh, definitely. They're just sometimes football stadia are just full of Karens.
There should be a Karen section actually.
Which one would that be?
That's definitely the middle of the East Stand.
I was about to say the same.
Definitely the middle of the East Stand.
Half your team at one point was at Blackpool. Yeah, well, we've lost Tom Aldred and Peter Hartley, so we've still got Charles Dunn. He's still in the books, but he's a very much forgotten player because he's still injured.
I like Charles Dunn.
I like Charles Dunn as well. He's a good lad.
He's got a good engine on him. Just don't ask him to pass the ball 5 yards. Just keep allowing him to punt it. And we'll be alright. But no, Ryan Dunbar, he said in the chat, I don't know if it's a wee bit further up now, so penalties on the penalties if they're for Rangers. I think they both have said, Ryan, we both have said that they were Stonewallers.
Aye, I mean,
it was a Stonewall, sorry.
Everyone goes on, the penalty to Rangers thing.
It's just a bit of banter, isn't it, at the end of the day?
It is banter, but it's not, even I find it stale at sometimes. I mean, since 16-17, Aberdeen and Celtic have been given more penalties than Rangers have.
I know, I think it's just because I've had loads this season, to be fair, more than actually the last couple of years. But definitely, there's some decisions that the Old Firm do get. I don't think so much this season because there's no crowds, but you tell me, you're the referee, Gogs, you see if 60 people are shouting at you, is it going to influence your decision?
Only if I'm not 100% certain. Like, sometimes I do go with the crowd because, like, for example, if I'm like 50 yards away still trying to catch up with play because I'm an unfit bastard, and the ball's at the corner and someone's trying to hold off, and then there's a ricochet and you're not sure 100% how you're going to give a throw-in or a goal kick or a corner, sometimes you'll just go with the loudest shout.
Aye. Well, especially you won't have any help for linesmen at your level either, so
Correct.
The crowd are basically your linesmen.
Well, that's the thing. Like the game I refereed the second half of a couple of weeks ago, I didn't have a linesman, so offsides are the worst things to call because you honestly don't know what. And when you've got one crowd shouting for offside, one crowd just trying to cheer their team on, I mean,
you're never right, mate. As a referee, you're never right. Somebody's always going to say you're wrong.
Correct. I mean, it was a penalty, so I wouldn't say it's embarrassing because if it's a penalty, it's a penalty. And
I think we can start to get into that discussion if the penalties are dubious. But at the end of the day, the referees need help, and I know people don't want VAR up here because it ruins stuff. But I think you want it.
I want it because
I want it as well.
Because being a referee, it's hard enough without it.
I want it. I'm sorry, on you go.
As much as I like to say, football's a game of mistakes, and those who benefit from the mistakes usually win the game. But at the same time, I think the referees need as much help as they can get.
Oh, definitely. I just think VAR needs refined. It needs refined a wee bit.
The rules need refined.
When it gets to the point where you're putting somebody's shoulder blade or armpit offside, I think there needs to be a certain amount of leeway given where you give the striker the benefit of the doubt.
Because it's an attacking game.
Yeah. It would make the game more exciting because what we want to see is goals. Like that Liverpool one against Everton, for example. That's a prime example of a goal that I think should have been given.
It should have been given, yes. And then you've also got, for example, the penalty that Celtic conceded on Thursday night against Lille, which was never a penalty. It was outside the box. If they had VAR that, they'd have seen, look, that's not a penalty, it's a free kick outside the box. But I don't even think it was a free kick. I think the guy just tripped himself up.
Yep, but in the same sentence with that one, Shane Duffy's done himself no favours by diving in and giving the referee a decision to make.
You're absolutely right. I mean, also, you see the penalty that Hibs got yesterday.
Yeah, I've not seen that. Oh, in fact, I did see that. I've seen that, watched the game, seen the two of them. Two of them have...
You did a report.
Hello, fucking not seen that. Two of them are very soft. Two of them are very, very soft.
I mean, the first one wasn't a penalty, it was a dive. The boy should have been yelled for it. But justice was done with Kevin Nisbet missing it. Second of all, if you're given the first penalty, you have to give the Hearts penalty.
Well, aye.
But at the same time, yes, it's a wee bit soft, but all the Hearts player needs to do is get in front of the man and basically let him let him be clipped, and it's a penalty. And that's the way football's gone, unfortunately.
With that one, mate, when I seen it at full speed, the Hearts one, my first reaction was penalty kick. Then when I seen the replay, I went, "Oh, that's a bit soft." But what we need to remember is the referees are only seeing it in real time.
Yeah, exactly.
So if we're saying in real time that it's a penalty kick, then we need to understand why the referees might think in real time
and
it's a penalty kick.
And a lot of people, not enough people, understand the position that the referee's in.
No, I know. Caught between a rock and a hard, or a position on the pitch, you mean? Like where it has angle?
Exactly. The referee can only go with what he's seen, and at least with the referee, especially in the big semi-finals and final, you've got 4 assistant referees, and basically every angle's being covered. So there is very much less margin to be wrong.
Here's a question. See the referees that stand behind the goal? Have you ever actually seen one of them interfere with play? In Scottish football, I know I've seen it in Europe. Have you ever actually... Because there was a decision yesterday where Hibs got a free kick, and I thought when the ball was whipped in, I can't remember what player it was, but it was hauled to the ground, and then the ball came to Doidge, I think it was, and Hearts got a free kick. It was a free kick to Hearts, but before that, I think one of the Hibs players was about to put it in the net, and he's been brought down. Do you remember the one that I'm talking about?
One. Yeah, that should have been a penalty to Hibs, I think.
Now, Bobby Madden standing behind that goal, surely he sees that. That's when they've got to interfere.
I mean, like I said at the time, that was a stonewall penalty, I thought, because, well, Doidge got hauled down to the ground, or sorry, whoever it was in the Hibs.
It was Doidge, I think you're right, it was Doidge.
Doidge got hauled to the ground, and then play on, and then Hibs were claiming for the second foul, but they didn't realise that the Hibs player had fouled the Hearts, had basically held them back, and then he clipped the Hibs player in turn. So, I mean, there is 3 fouls there, but you've got to give the first foul before anything else happens.
Yep.
We've got a donation from Hammy HD. Thank you for saying
Hammy.
He would donate. Sorry, I'm still a wee bit far behind in the comments because we're having a good discussion here, and I'm just going with the comments. As of course you'd be against VAR, Joseph. You're a Celtic fan. I'm wanting VAR. I don't think we could get it because it'd have to go to a 12-team vote in the top flight, and there's only an 11-1 margin. So if 2 teams vote against it, then it's not going to happen.
The financial implications as well, though, we've still not got going technology. Well, we used that yesterday for the first time. There you go. How long has that been about? And that's us just using it?
About 4 or 5 years.
Aye, it was not. It must be because I think it was the 2014 World Cup when it was first used.
I think so. Because it was at 2010 that Lampard had that goal going off the bar, and
that kind of sparked the reaction because it was England. Okay.
Yeah, because it was England. We'll have a look at that.
Aye. No.
If we get VAR, it'll cost teams 100,000 per game. Well, would you rather have your team be on the wrong end of a horrendous decision that costs you the league title, or would you rather have a correct decision that basically allows your team to have the chance of winning the title? Like, we're talking last game of the season. If you don't get a penalty that's an absolute 100% stonewaller, and you need to win the game 1-0, and you draw it because of what you would probably say the incompetence of a referee, or just because it's an honest mistake. You know, that's what I'm saying here. Like, and then of course it can work against you as well. But that's the thing with football; it goes for and against, and as you all say, it all swings and roundabouts. But the only teams that benefit from that are Rangers and Celtic.
Absolutely. There's not even a question in that. Not even a question.
I mean, if you're saying Rangers are a poor team, only win games through penalties. I mean, they beat Galatasaray, and did they have a penalty? They beat Lech Poznan on Thursday. Did they have a penalty?
It's a false statement. It's just a false statement.
I mean, you can't hide behind the fact, Rangers only scored penalties, but yeah, okay, they've had pretty much a lot of penalties this season, but you've got to get into those positions, and they're the only team in the league that actually does.
What about that defensive record? They've only conceded 3 goals in the league, and one of them they scored themselves was an own goal against us.
Yeah.
And the other 2 were by Hibs. So, and that's been the surprising thing, because they've only really bought in Balogun for me. They've not really bought in many defenders, but they must have worked on something in the training ground. And I don't know if it's just confidence breeding clean sheets. I don't know what it is, but they just don't look like conceding in any game.
Yeah, you're absolutely spot on. Ross Lockhart, Tony Watt is a better player than Morelos and Itten. Fact.
At the moment.
I mean, I did notice your donation, Hammy, don't worry. As a Hibs fan, both penalties were not penalties. So it's easy for you to say that the first one wasn't, because it clearly wasn't a penalty, whereas the Hearts one I think was. But it's marginally a penalty.
I don't think it's given with what we spoke about in VAR.
Yes.
I don't think it's given. I don't think either are given.
VAR, maybe it's not given, but I thought it was a penalty, and in real time, you've got to go with what you think. Yeah. So I would, if I was the referee, I would give a penalty for that.
Why?
When Josh Meekings handed it off the line in the Scottish semi-final, and the goal line guy was right in front of it, well, that's down to human error more than anything.
I need to pick a bone with Joseph Coyle's comment. Why is he trying to remind us about that Sinclair dive?
Why?
Oh my god!
It's a clear refereeing mistake.
What one's he talking about though? The one at Hampden or the one at Fir Park? Because there was 2 in the space of 3 days.
That was Callum McGregor that dived.
Oh, it was Callum McGregor. So it was.
He was actually off the pitch.
Mate, that day.
He literally spun off the pitch. And
that game.
That
game still gets to me. It still gets to me, mate, because we could have beat their unbeaten record that day.
We should have, mate. It was honestly one of my greatest vlogs I've done.
Aye, I remember, because you had like the no diving.
Yeah, and then what happens? A Celtic player dives and they get a penalty.
I just remember watching it and you're going, he's done it again! He's dived again! He's dived again, oh man. So that, see, before you went into that game as well, you'd have sat there and went, I'll take a point against Celtic, because they were flying at the time. But, see, to be honest though, I would have traded it all in for the League Cup one.
Mate, even going back to the playoff, I know we've got a horrific record against Rangers. If you had said to me, right, you beat Rangers in the playoff here, and then you have to go 50 games without a win against them in the league, would you take it? I was like, aye, absolutely.
Yeah. Don't care about any league game, providing it doesn't get us relegated, obviously.
Exactly.
They can have it, because you go into the games against Old Firm, just anything's a bonus, mate. Anything is a bonus. That's why I don't really get psyched up for Old Firm games. I'm more nervous about the games like yesterday. Yeah. Yesterday I was really nervous because it's a stadium that when we've went to it, we've not done well, but it's a team that on the park we can beat.
Yeah. Also, when it comes to the Old Firm, like, I am nervous because I'm wanting us to at least put in a solid performance. But at the same time, I know for a fact if we get gubbed 5 or 6-0, the comments I'm gonna get on YouTube, I'm just like, here we go again. But Football Pro Pundit says VAR would need to be used in the right way. Well, it was used in the correct way at the World Cup, and they've only just started doing the same way in the English Premier League with referees going over to review the footage at the sideline. But for a good year and a half, they weren't doing that.
No, I agree. I still don't think they're using it in the right way. I still think it needs refined.
Football Pro Pundit says the first Hearts goal should not have counted clear foul in Nisbet and halfway. I honestly don't remember that. So obviously it doesn't stick out. So I mean, if it doesn't stick out to the people watching, then how's the referee gonna know?
No. I was too wrapped up in the game, mate, to be honest.
Me too.
To be fair, it's about time that we got a decent Edinburgh derby in it.
It was, because usually they're boring as hell.
They're so
and
boring.
It's usually the ones that are not televised that are the better games to watch.
Aye, no, but I thought that was a terrific advert for Scottish football yesterday.
Oh, it was. I mean, it was a slow first half, but as soon as the second half started, it was so much better to watch.
Go.
Hello, John Mitchell. How's it going? Dan Sterling. It's more of the rule, as we stated earlier. Balogun and Bassey, the only two we bought defensively, and I mean, it's worked wonders. And I mean, Balogun's not even starting today.
Neither is Bassey. The two of them on the start.
Aye. The Hearts one was a pen. The first Hearts goal should hit. I think we've already said that, yeah. Yes. We had, like, Fraser came to the game and he'd printed some off, and I didn't even know this going into the vlog. He just turned up and said, I think you'll be needing some of these. And he started handing them out as if they were like wee brochures to a family holiday thing in the section.
Should have started charging £1 for them or something.
I'm pretty sure we'd have made some profit.
Honestly. There's your stereotypical question that you get asked every stream underneath Carrots' comment.
At the moment, I can't see why not for the top 4.
I'm starting to believe you after yesterday. I think yesterday was a big game for us. Now, if we win the 2 games in hand, we're on 20 points, mate, and you would still expect Aberdeen to be on 23, because I don't think they'll beat Celtic. So I think we can definitely close that gap on Aberdeen.
Absolutely. I mean, the 2 teams that we can catch, in my opinion, that are above us, we've not lost against yet this season.
Yeah, Hibs and Aberdeen, I know. I know we won one of them, but I thought we deserved to win at Easter Road as well.
We did, absolutely. I thought we should have won.
It's not that they weren't in the game. I just thought that they disallowed goal, and then we had a couple of chances. Did we not hit the post at one point in the tripping there? No, I think I might be tripping.
I can't even remember.
Games just slipped by me as well, but I just remember us having loads of the ball that day. David Turnbull and Alan Campbell absolutely bossed the middle of the park.
They did. But Sheriff 12 says the Football Pro Pundit, stop making excuses. He deservedly lost. But yeah, I mean, I'm sitting on that. I'm sitting on that bench. Hearts were the deserved winners in the end, and I mean, if it's a tale of 2 penalties, well, one team scored their penalty, the other didn't. So, and if Hibs scored that penalty, then Hearts wouldn't have gone up the other end and got their own. You know what I mean? I mean, you can watch the game through your tinted specs all you want, but in my opinion, I mean, it's a tale of opinions now. Random Bar, that 5-1 game a few weeks back when we went Yeah, time is 1:05. Aye, good one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, how long ago was that game now?
Long enough ago for me to have forgotten about it.
Yeah, me too. Great win from Motherwell yesterday. Yep. What is Stephen Robinson like as a manager? Well, I think it speaks for himself. 2 cup finals in 1 season, a 3rd place finish, and we were 12th when he took charge.
People go on about our players, but he is our most valuable asset at the minute.
100%.
Because we can always bring through more youth, but I don't think it's very difficult to find a decent manager these days.
Yeah, and I mean, it's his signings that have worked wonders.
And I mean, I'm grateful, but I'm shocked that nobody snapped him up yet. I really am shocked that nobody's came and took him off us.
I honestly don't think he will go until the Northern Ireland job opens up again.
Well, I hope you're right, and I was shocked that Ian Barraclough got it before him. But again, grateful.
Yeah. Yes, I am enjoying that cup of tea. Doesn't matter who creates the better chances, it's about taking them.
Exactly.
John Mitchell says, we beat Hibs that much, we should really get to keep
them.
And it must be one of the most one-sided top flight derbies in the world. Well, it wasn't a top flight derby yesterday.
I know, but people are going on about it being a shock win that Hearts won. I don't think there's much between those two sides. There's not much between those two sides at all. Hearts should never have went down last season with the squad that they had. Never.
You're absolutely spot on, mate.
And they've added to a squad that, in my opinion, was already strong. They brought in Craig Gordon, who you've seen is still alright. He's a bit suspect at coming for cross balls and such, but in terms of shot stopping, he's still one of the best out there. And then Elliot Frear, another good signing for them at that level, I think.
Yeah, Elliot Frear's not kicked the ball yet, I don't think.
I know, but still, I think he's a good signing.
Kirsten says hello.
Well, that's a surprise. Is she feeling alright?
Very staunch Kirsten, says Sheriff. Best biscuit to dunk in a cup of tea. I don't actually have a biscuit with my tea. I have...
No, you've got to have a biscuit, man.
No, I save it for like hot chocolate. Like I have ginger snaps. Fair. Sorry, ginger nuts to dunk in my hot chocolate.
Fair. But to answer your question, Joseph, I think it's got to be a digestive, mate.
Yeah. Either digestive or rich tea.
Cookies are good as well, believe it or not. The Dunkin' tea.
Don't smile. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean, John. We were like that with Aki's at one point. We went on 8 games without a defeat against them. Now we just can't seem to put a hand on them. Sheriff is shot red till he dies. And that's half time in the Rangers Kilmarnock game. It just goes to show how interesting it's been with...
I don't think we've spoke about anything since the penalty.
No, nothing's happened since the penalty, mate.
No, I know. But I think what I will say is after scoring, the tempo of the game completely suits Rangers. It's slow, there's nothing happening, it's exactly what they want. And I think if they win today, I can honestly say that I think that, I'm not going to say that's the league, but it's a big step towards winning the league.
Yeah.
Because these kind of games where they've stumbled in past seasons.
I'm glad we're not covering the Aston Villa game.
How's it 2-0 to Southampton?
3.
3-0 to Southampton. They're a good side this season, by the way. Really good side to get that result against Everton, and then who scored the goals? James Ward-Prowse get a double and an assist. cue his inform FIFA card.
I'll still have about 60 pace.
And he's got a booking. God, he's really involved. That would put Southampton up to 3rd. And Everton can go back top with a win over Newcastle. Villa are down to 7th, but they're still on 12 points. It's really tight, that league, as I say.
Aye.
And there's a mid-table clash between Man United and Arsenal. Mental.
John Mitchell says we went on a run of 22 games in a row before Hibs beat us.
I don't think it's any secret that in our lifetime Hearts have had the better of the derby.
Leagues aren't won in November, but Stevie, I say if we go into January 2nd, 9 points in front, if we win that game, then maybe.
Still maybe.
Maybe. Exactly. The thing is, there is still room for errors. And I think, well, no team's perfect. There will be a game or two where Rangers do sacrifice a couple of points.
See if Celtic are behind in points going into the January transfer window, watch them throw the checkbook at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Watch them just go out and buy. They'll go out and buy somebody that you'll go, wow, I can't believe they've got him. Or they'll get somebody on loan like they did with Robbie Keane or something like that, and Craig Bellamy to try and...
I don't remember Robbie Keane being all that impactful.
Oh, he still scored a good few goals. I think the only problem at the time was... See, at the time he came in, and they were 3rd in the league at the time, I'm sure, because that was around the time that Mowbray got sacked.
Yes.
It was that season. So, but he still came in and made a big impact in terms of them scoring. I think they were the...
That Mowbray Celtic team was the worst Celtic team I've ever witnessed.
See, the thing is, Gogsy, see, going forward, they played really attractive football. They just couldn't keep the ball out at the other end, mate. They just did not know how to defend.
That's it.
And to win leagues, I'm sorry, but you need a strong defence.
I still remember watching the St Mirren 4 Celtic 0 game.
Oh man, that was pure jokes, wasn't it? That was hilarious.
I really enjoyed that game.
They went 4-0 up, and I'm still like, nah, I'm going to wake up here. This isn't happening. It got to Aidan McGeady was talking about it on a podcast that he done.
Was he?
Aye, and he said it got to a point where Tony Mowbray stuck me at left back, and he just shoved all his attacking players on the pitch when they were 3-0 down. He just put every attacker that he had on the bench on and just went, go and try and get some.
I mean, that's one way to throw basically the kitchen sink at it, but you've got to be diplomatic in your substitution.
But he's obviously a good manager, that's the thing, Gogsy, because he's still doing relatively well at Blackburn and he done well at Hibs, so...
Yeah, Blackburn are usually a solid shout, but I don't see Blackburn ever coming back up.
No, I think they will eventually. It's a bit like Leeds. They will eventually, but I don't think it will happen for a good while. Watch them go and get promoted via the playoffs this season, now that I've said that, but... No, they're just that kind of...
Stevie, were you on the Tam Curran radio the other week?
Aye, I was on BBC. It was good, but... It was good, but I feel like I've spoken about it enough now, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're sort of like, right, sort of...
What's the next thing?
Sort of worn off. Now we move on to the next big thing.
I've got a few stuff lined up though, do you know, Gogsy, but I'll keep them close to my chest in a minute.
It was good, but it's not quite past the mic.
No. See, to be honest, this has been good for me because I just enjoy coming on and getting... It's good to watch a game with somebody, you know what I mean? And just come on and get a bit of banter with the boys. It's class.
It's unrivaled in Scottish football. Colin Ritchie says, I know it's just frustrating. Ryan would like to see teams at least try and attack. Well, that's the thing, though. If you try and play football against Rangers or Celtic, they'll easily carve you open and win games comfortably. So you've got to sit back and try and defend what you've got at least. And if you score early on, It's going to be the longest 80 minutes of your life.
Oh, don't you? I hate it. See, honestly, we'll put it this way. See that one each game that we were talking about earlier, where they got the penalty? We even scored late on in that game.
We scored in the 87th minute or something.
And it's still one of the most nerve-wracking games that I've... See that last 3 minutes? It felt like 3 years. Honestly.
Right, mate.
There's no perfect time to score against Old Firm where the game won't drag in unless it is literally the last kick of the ball.
Yeah. Because, I mean, the perfect way to win a game against the Old Firm is hold tight, just hope you ride your luck, and then wait till the final 10 minutes. You throw in another striker, you go 2 up front, and you go and attack them. And just see then if you can actually go and score a goal. But, I mean, you wouldn't understand that, Old Firm fans, would you?
No, well, I think they can relate to it. It's just different perspective. I think when they go away in Europe and they're leading against a big side, it's the same kind of a thing.
It's the same. Ryan Barr says, Colin Ritchie, Lech Poznan played the exact same way Killie are playing. We're playing well, but the final pass or shot is letting us down. Killie always poses a threat on this pitch. Well, they've not threatened much today.
I still think it will come at some point, though. The longer the game stays 1-0, it's going to come. They're going to get a chance at some point. So Rangers need to get that second goal, and I'm sure that's what Gerrard will be saying to them at half time.
Spot on. I did say it before the game, I think, or at the start of the stream, I thought it would be 2-0 Rangers.
There you go. Good shout.
There's only been one game that they've played this season where they've not scored 2 or more goals. And that was a 0-0 draw against Livingston. So, I mean, it is possible to get a point off them. Because, like, Motherwell went to Livingston and won 2-0 yesterday.
That's been the surprising thing for me. I know that the teams won't play the same against us as they will the Old Firm. But we've went to places where the Old Firm have struggled, like Rangers drew at Hibs. We should have won at Hibs.
Oh, aye, definitely.
Celtic get beat at Pittodrie. We went and hammered Aberdeen 3-0, and then Rangers struggle at Livy, and we went there and won comfortably. What?
Celtic drew at Pittodrie.
It's probably even. It was like a defeat, wasn't it? Because that just goes to show you. Sorry, it was 3 each. You're right. I'm thinking it was 3-2.
Ryan Barr, Stevie to replace Michael Stewart on Sports Scene, heard it here first. John Mitchell says, felt sorry for Aaron yesterday. I watched back on his live stream. He had to come off stream, but you could hear him crying through his mic. What?
I don't understand that comment.
Because
his team won, so why would he be crying?
Crying of happiness or what? I mean, you have to give more context there. But I'm pretty sure I'll watch back because apparently it was just his dad on for a wee bit. No, they didn't. They came forward. Killie just hitting high balls up the park. Well, that's the thing. If you've got big Nicky Kabamba, then he's a threat up top alone.
Here's a question for you, Gogsy. When are these games going to get rescheduled that we need to play?
What? Did I not say to you during the week, our game against Killie would have been fantastic to just be played on like Tuesday there?
I don't see why not.
I don't think they'll be rescheduled until they've completed the sort of inspection on Killie and St Mirren.
No, it can't be done during just in between the international break either, because we'll have players away. Do you know what I mean? So you're probably looking at after the new year, to be honest with you, which is mental.
Exactly. That's the thing. I mean, I would have suggested beforehand, like for example, a couple of seasons ago, we had a game against Ross County that needed rescheduled. And I was like, well, why don't we just play it during the international break? Because we don't have anyone going away. But now, because we've actually got players in the international setup, we can't afford to play the game and risk the 3 points.
This is the thing I get. Like, see, when crowds are going, they need to reschedule it in a time where they can get policing and stuff like this and that, and around all of that. But see, during this time, we don't need any of that, surely. So just get the game played.
Just get the game played at DL Park. Don't care.
Honestly, just get it played. Get it out of the way, because we never know when this virus is going to strike. Just.
I know. And they all say stuff about this bubble, that bubble, the next bubble, but Motherwell's been one of the best teams in the league for COVID cases in terms of keeping it down to a very low number. Like, we've only had one COVID case I can think of
At the club, which is, in particularly for Lanarkshire being a hotspot for the virus.
Mm-hmm.
For us to have been able to keep that so quiet at the club shows that we're doing something right off the pitch. Players are taking it seriously, staff are taking it seriously.
I've heard that even if someone's seen without a mask, Robbo shouts at them.
Well, I get told, I did say this on a previous stream, that obviously my mate plays a part of it, so he says somebody told him that Stephen Robinson is the angriest manager. Not angry, but just I think it's more like a passionate kind of a thing.
Yes.
Where he just, do you know what I mean?
I completely agree with it. I mean, I've spoken to him a few times, and the passion is just oozing out of him, like, whenever he speaks. Which is great.
That's what you want, because we've had managers in the past, like Mark McGee, for example, just sat, didn't say it. And you see it when you're winning, and now the Celtic fans are getting pissed off with him a wee bit, because he's not his usual animated self. He just sits on the bench and chews his snus.
I know. Anyway, we'll read the rest of the comments before the second half kicks off. Playing 11 men behind the ball can be effective, though. A lot of fans slag it. It's like we forget that got us to a UEFA Cup final. Ooh. Sheriff coming out with the big comments here. In your honesty, opinions on who's winning?
Hibs.
Motherwell. There we go. If you look at the form table, we're second.
Which begs the question, why didn't we start the season well?
Because we won the fit.
Fucking hell, man. Look at the games that we can beat. Anyway, we're going through the comments. I won't go on another rant.
I know. No surprise. Come on, Daniel. Just. I'm bored.
I think we'll leave that debate in the comments for now on.
Yeah.
Let them have that.
That's literally what the comments are saying. Oh, well done, Football Prime Ginger.
Well done.
Subs. Well done, mate. Killie have looked shocking in the first half, yeah. And finally, someone with the green specs has said it was a penalty. I'm talking players behind the ball. Hello, Benjamin Correa Garcia. How's it going? Not seen you here before. Please do leave a subscribe and like the stream. When do you think St Mirren will actually be able to play without COVID cases? Did they not?
They couldn't play this week because they were meant to be playing Celtic.
Ah, right, okay. Fair enough. I don't know. But it's been 14 days since their called off game against Motherwell, so I would assume it would be next week.
It'll be next week, yeah. Which is good for St Mirren fans, because I think we went through it. It's a nightmare to go through this period when your team's not playing. It's just football's a release at the minute for everything that's going on, and see when that's took away, it's like.
Yeah, there was a chance there for Rangers. Ryan Kent was driving down the left wing, cut back. Arfield, his shot was blocked by Kilmarnock defence. Oh, Rebo's done very well there.
He's played really good today. He's bossing that midfield.
Overhit that pass, and you're. Oh, can I just stop that? Aaron was crying about Zaliukas. I mean, if that happened to Stephen Craig,
come on, man, we can't have a go at him for crying about that. No, I mean, no, but I'm just thinking John's comment could still hear him crying. Oh, he did say he felt sorry for them, right enough. Sorry, I take that back.
Yeah.
It's just
we struggle at Livy because they sit with 11 men behind the ball. Aye, but you play against teams with 11 men behind the ball every week.
it's different ways of winning games of football at the end of the day, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's just
It could take one moment of absolute brilliance, or you could end up winning 3 or 4-0.
like yesterday, our performance wasn't the most flashy, but we still get the job done.
Exactly.
So I care about it at the end of the day.
Yeah, I was actually going to do a video on this, but then I remembered the original video I did talking about teams having to forfeit matches potentially. Didn't even get 300 views, so I was like, is it really worth it?
No.
But yeah, Killie and St Mirren getting disciplinary action against them. Well, there's going to be a hearing, etc., etc. It's going to be done, I think it's next week. I think if Killie and St Mirren have breached the protocols, etc., we should be awarded the 3 points, because I heard rumours about stuff going on behind closed doors, but it can all be rumours. It could all be WhatsApp chat talk, whatever.
Can you tell me those rumours off stream?
I shall do.
Okay.
But I don't want to make it public, because
absolutely not.
It could be wrong.
Exactly. It could all be hearsay at the end of the day. But still good to have a talk about, but you just don't want to put that out in the public domain.
No, exactly. Sheriff Winter says, I want Celtic to play their game in hand ASAP while they're in bad form. It's probably a good thing for them that they've not had to play that game against Aberdeen yet, because Aberdeen have been really good this season. Apart from that blip against Motherwell. Random Bar, they win the day, that'll kickstart them again. Watch this. That's the thing. Celtic love a game at Hampden. I mean, when was the last time they lost there?
I know, but I think that's the thing. Particularly, you look at Neil Lennon's record at Hampden. He had a terrible record until they played us, believe it or not, in the Scottish Cup final. I don't think he'd won very many games at Hampden. I think that semi-final was his first, and then
was that
the final.
Brendan Rodgers?
No, I'm talking about the one in 2011.
Ah, that one.
His first spell. And then you look at his 2 games recently at Hampden when he was Celtic manager. They should never have beat Rangers in the League Cup. And they even got lucky in the cup final against Hearts where they beat them 2-1. So I think this game could honestly, it's on a knife edge, this game today. But like Ryan says, I think everybody's just waiting for Celtic to spark into life.
Mm-hmm. I think Celtic's waiting for them to spark into life.
Aye.
Kilmarnock should have started this game. Morelos' head is not in it this season. Even though he did score on Thursday night. He's scored a few big goals this season. Plus, we play a lot quicker with Kamara than Ryan Jack, and I'm a Jack fan. Yeah.
Love Grant.
Would you rather rotate the team and let, say, Defoe and Kamara start next week against Benfica?
At the end of the day, I think the reason that Glenn Kamara's not played today is because he put in a great shift against Les Poznan on Thursday night. So maybe he's just giving him a wee rest just now. And as for Defoe, I think Defoe is there for the games after games like today, but I just don't think a plastic pitch suits Defoe with his age. But you seen it last week, they brought him in against Livingston. So it'll be games like that where Defoe's used, I think, after they've played away in Europe and then they need to come back. So maybe next Sunday you'll see Defoe starting again.
Who have Rangers got next Sunday? That's the question.
I need to check. I think it'll be next Saturday, because do we not have Celtic next week?
Yeah. But there's the European action on Thursday.
Oh, I saw it, sorry.
It's been a while since he played Aberdeen.
It could be Aberdeen, but They play Hamilton at home.
Hamilton at home.
So I was going to say, so there's 3 points, but Hamilton have got a history going to Ibrox and shocking everybody. But I know, you fancy Rangers 3 or 4 there, wouldn't you?
Definitely. James Forrest will be getting surgery for his ankle injury. So he will not be playing football till next year, which is not good for the national team. But then again, he's not been that. He's been touch and go this season.
Yeah, I think they've missed him.
Yeah,
honestly, I think they've missed him.
Yeah. I don't know who'll win the semi-final. I want to say I want Aberdeen to win because I want to see a good cup final. That's not going to be, as I would predict, a walk in the park for Celtic, even though it'll be far from it.
It's not that as well. It's been so long since we've seen a cup final with Celtic in it.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
just
my heart says Kobe will be having a party tonight, but my head says it'll be 3-1 Celtic. Because Aberdeen have a history of going to Hampden, play Celtic, and not showing up. Or just not even scoring a goal.
But on the laws of averages, is it not just time for Aberdeen to win a Scottish Cup? It's been that long.
Yeah, it's been 29 years.
So...
Because it was Motherwell that put them out after they won the Scottish Cup.
Aye. And then we won it. Did we win it that year then? We won it the year after them? Aye. 91, we won it, and they won it in 98. Aye, because that's right. What?
It's been 30 years since Aberdeen won the Scottish Cup.
There you go. 30 years.
So I would say it's about time Aberdeen won a cup. And I'd be happy to assist with that because, I just want someone different than Celtic.
It's about time that they won a big game against Celtic as well. Because they got close in the cup final, Scottish Cup final against them.
They got close last week.
Aye. Yep. And they got close last week. So I think it is coming. And when Celtic are in the form that they're in, there's no better time for Aberdeen to win than now, I think. So I'm making a case for Aberdeen today.
Yeah. Let's make a case for Aberdeen today then.
Right.
We'll support them on stream.
Yep. And that's nothing against Celtic, by the way. It's just it's been a while.
I mean, it could put to bed the suspects of me being a Celtic cuck in the Rangers camp as well. So we'll go with that.
But Rangers fans say this, right? And it's very difficult not. How can we be critical of Celtic? And I've said that they're all form on this stream, but see the past 9 years, how could you have been critical of Celtic? They've been winning leagues left, right, and centre. You can't. You can only comment on what you're seeing.
Even under Ronnie Dyler, they were okay.
And they were okay, but
they were nothing special. But they were still the only team in the league that were able to win it because Rangers were out.
That's exactly what I was going to say. They could afford to be okay.
Yeah.
Because an okay Celtic is still better than an informed Motherwell or Aberdeen.
Yeah.
It's close, but Celtic still pip it because of the finances.
I mean, we've had so many games over the last few years where I've just been annoyed that we've not been able to hold our own against the Old Firm. For example, the game we were 2-0 up against Rangers drew 2 each. The game we were 2-0 up against Celtic at half-time, lost 4-3 in the last minute.
Yeah, that's one. But there is one that sticks in my mind, and I'm sorry to bring it up, man, because it's a video that you went famous for. But that Scottish Cup game, mate, I swear to God, man, it still hurts me to this day.
It does, mate. It does.
Because I think with that squad, we could have went on and won that year. Honestly.
Yeah.
I honestly believe we could have went on and won it that year. I just think any team will lay Mo in it.
Yeah. Any team will play Mo, and we could have Just.
It's glad we didn't even get a replay, but do you know what I mean? We were 1-0 up with 3 minutes to go, and then they go and score in the 88th and the 90th. And then, do you remember that 1-0 as well? Scott McDonald had the chance to put it or was it 1 each? Scott McDonald had the chance to put 2-1 up or something, and he missed.
I can't even remember. But see, the next season we went to Ibrox, and it was it was the same season. It was the next time we went to Ibrox. We went 1-0 up in the 3rd minute through Louis Moult, and all these Rangers fans, because like it's so easy to see the away fans, like everyone recognised me as that guy from the video, and everyone's like, "Oh, get your camera out, get your camera out." Mother will go and score. I'm like, "Yeah, get fucking up here," and then we're just giving it tight to them for the whole of the game until Joe Garner scores an equaliser. I'm like, right, we've had our fun. Here we go. There's only one winner now, and thankfully we held on, but. We had a goal chopped off for offside, which I thought at the time it stood. Pearson scored.
Man. I remember that. It was good going.
And then I got rugby tackled by a steward.
The stewards at all Fulham games are always the ones that you need to watch for. Just jobs worth, mate. Just absolute. Like, see at Celtic Park, they stand in front of you, and I mentioned this on Off the Ball.
Yeah, I remember
it. Who in their right mind is going to invade the pitch at Celtic Park when they've got 50-odd thousand Celtic supporters or 50-odd thousand Rangers supporters? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're spot on.
You're just not going to go anywhere near it.
Didn't a spokesperson from Celtic then get in touch with you?
The disability access officer's been in touch. And they've invited me to Celtic Park to look around the facilities and stuff and put me in touch with people at other clubs as well. So it's good, but there's nothing I can do just now because there's no way we can get to the football. But this will all start to happen when fans can get back to stadiums.
Yeah, exactly, which is great because I think we need that.
Well, I just think that. See, for me, and I said this, we want to be watching a game from an elevated view, mate. We want to be in amongst the crowd, mate. We don't want to be sitting in a corner or out the way, everything. And there just needs to be more done. It's particularly with teams that are building new stadiums, it should be a priority to give disabled fans decent access and not just stick them behind a goal or in a corner. Or, do you know what I mean? I would take it into consideration. You see how empty stadiums are. There would be no harm in leaving out 4 rows of seats to put a disabled section in the middle of a stand.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There would
be
no harm.
Away in for Rangers or Celtic.
Aye. Well, I know. Well, because they need any space that they can get. But even then, they're still looking at making their view better. That's what the Lassie for Celtic said to me. So it's good to know that clubs are taking notice.
Oh, chance for Killie. Oh, well cleared. Andrew Rooney says they beat us twice there in 120 years. Not really a history. I'm assuming that's Hamiltonaki's. Aye, but it's recent history. I mean, you can't just say that historically they've got a really good record there because clearly they don't. Because I remember when Rangers were playing them in the Cup and they were in the Championship, they won 6-0 or something.
I remember.
I remember. Back in my day. 4 of those years we weren't in the league, and one they won because they were handed the league due to COVID. So only really won 4 on the pitch. So you tell me that's a real night.
I'm not even getting into the debate of they won the league because of COVID. Celtic were walking that league.
They were 15 points clear.
They were walking it. And any Rangers fan that thinks that they were going to win the league with the form that they were in is mad with it.
Yeah, Sheriff's got a good point that you can only beat what's in front of you. Specifically, the disabled section at Celtic Park. I mean, it's as if the stewards think we'll get off their seats and start a fight. No going to happen, is it?
Spot on. He's spot on. Anytime there's a goal, they stand up in front of you. Where am I going to go? Where am I going to go? Seriously.
I mean, I understand if that's just the protocol and it happens at every club, but
it shouldn't even be protocol, man. I get it if there's a last minute goal or if something dramatic happens. But see if you're like 3-0 down, 4-0 down, man, the game's done.
Yeah, as it usually happens at the Old Firm anyway.
Or even if they go 1-0 up in the 20th minute, there's still 70 minutes left. It's alright, calm down.
But sometimes I do think a lot of the stewards that are employed by the security companies and that, so I think most of them aren't even football people, because if it was a football fan, usually they'd want to actually go and sit in their seat and go watch the game.
No. I
could imagine being a security guard or a steward, because I would literally stand there and watch the match and just make the most of my free ticket.
Here's a funny story for you, right? My mate used to be a steward at Fir Park. I'm good mates with him, right? And I forgot my season ticket for this one game, right? And I'm like, and usually I would need to go and get the guy that was in charge of the DSA. He's playing Luton as a season ticket member, but that was when I was sitting in at Cooper then. So I would need to walk all the way to the south stand to get him and then bring him back.
Yeah.
You say? But I was like, oh, thank God it's my mate, I'll get in. And do you know what my mate thought? I need your season ticket. It's like, mate, are you kidding me on? I'm literally your best mate. I've been speaking about being a Motherwell fan for the past fucking 4 years that I've known you, and you're not going to let me in. You know that I go to Fir Park every week? No, it was quite funny. I still wind them up to it about this day. Fucking prick.
Even your best mate's being a job worth.
No.
Yeah, John Hedler, I've just seen Danny Ings.
Is it 4-0 now? Jesus Christ, man.
4-0.
Wow.
Imagine beating Liverpool 7-2, then getting fucked by Southampton 4-0. Oh no, we've got to go back. It's 4-1.
Hey.
Like Tyrone
Mings.
The comeback's on.
Tough, that would be some comeback.
I know.
At least there's a quick turnaround between the two games. Celtic game starts at 2.
2:30.
Is it half 2? Fucking hell.
Aye, it's half 2. Round the bar says that Ibrox Stews kneeled down so we get a view. I don't know about you, Stevie, but in my opinion, the best away ground is Tynecastle.
Nope. There's a bar in front of you, and people always walk in front of you. It's because, especially if there's loads of crowds there. But I'm sure if Ryan is a Rangers fan, he'll get that. Everywhere he goes, there'll be big crowds. But no. For me, it's Dundee. Hands down. Dundee or St Johnstone, 2 best.
Aye. Hold on 1 sec. Just need to quickly do something. There we go. Yeah, 4-1. Ings on triple captain, and Mings is in your team. I don't really care that much for English football, unfortunately. So then again, I was crowing about Aston Villa being second in the league.
Right.
But it really doesn't interest me that much.
I've been to a few games in the English Premiership, and I tell you what, much better going to a game in the SPL. And I'm not just saying that. It's just a lot better. It's the pace of the game for me that makes it up here. That's just what I'm used to watching.
I get bored sometimes just watching. Like, see last season when BBC were showing one of the English Premier League games. It was Bournemouth against Crystal Palace. I was watching the game. It was 0-0 in the first half. I fell asleep.
It's just, I used to watch Match of the Day religiously. See now, I don't think I've watched it in about 5 or 6 years, and I'm not even joking.
Yeah. Oh, the shot just gone wide from McKenzie for Killie. Wee volley there.
I'm telling you what, by the way, Kilmarnock have had a lot more of the ball second half. I mean, there's not been much for us to comment on in terms of chances, but if Rangers don't get this second goal in the break, man, I fancy Kilmarnock to nick one.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Kilmarnock have won 4 of the last 5 games against Rangers at Rugby Park.
Is that true?
Uh-huh.
That's a crazy stat, that.
Just remember, though, they had Steve Clark as manager for two seasons.
Ah, terrific. And Kate, do you not think he gets a hard time as Scotland manager, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I think. Well, I think the Scotland manager alone is a poison chalice.
Mate, see, at the end of the day, we've not done it in 22 years. It can't always be the manager's fault.
No, definitely not. It's the biomechanics of our team. We're not a tall enough team.
Get a great midfield.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can get the defence sorted, I think we'll be alright. And we look to have done that with Declan Gallagher coming into the squad.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, if he was younger, we would be getting millions and millions for him. I think, honestly, talking David Turnbull money, but he's 28. Are we really going to be able to sell him on for that much? Because you look at Scott McKenna gone for 5 million, sorry. 5 going up to 7 or something, is it?
Something like that, aye.
Aye. If Gallagher was at that age, I'd be asking for double the price, to be honest.
Me too. McKenna is nowhere near as good as Gallagher, in my opinion. Yeah, Gallagher had his 50th appearance yesterday for the club.
Aye, he's been some signing.
Aye.
Some signing.
And he was free.
We seem to like signing players for Livingston, don't we?
We should do. Him and Inverness.
Aye.
As a Blackpool fan, I would rather watch League One than our league, than the Prem. I know that seems obvious, but say the Big Six, I would say 70% of their attendances are tourists.
Well, there was that game a couple of seasons ago at Old Trafford where Tottenham beat Man U, and the Man U fans were wanting pictures with Pochettino. Never see that.
That was annoying. I know I'm a vlogger, and I know I take footage of stuff at the game, but people literally sit at games with their phones out for the whole match.
It boils my blood.
Mm.
I mean, at least when you're vlogging, you're basically counting the highlights.
Exactly, because like some people still think that a matchday vlogger will just sit and film everything that's happening. Now, if I were to do that, my camera, right, is about I don't know what the weight is, but if I were to hold my camera like this for the whole of the 90 minutes, I wouldn't have any blood left in my arms, and they would fall off.
Plus, you would need some battery life in that camera.
Yeah.
To be able to record for 90 minutes and then you're done. You don't?
Thankfully, I always take a spare battery.
That's always an idea, Gogs, you know what I mean? I'm learning on the job here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah. But usually I can last a full away day with one battery.
That's good. Do you ever get any like shite off Motherwell supporters when you're filming during the day? Honestly?
Some Motherwell fans come up and they try and say something behind my ear, and as if like they try and basically sabotage the footage by saying something that's just not right and something that can't be posted.
Aye, well, suppose you need to always sit beside the older. Well, I know you like to sit with the well boys, but
yeah,
if you're going to do that at away games, just sitting amongst the older generation. I don't think they're likely to bother you as much.
Even like that, sometimes you've got people like when I'm sitting like that, and someone in the background, and I can see through the lens cap that someone's either waving like or they've actually gone and put the middle finger up right behind you. So I try and crop that out by zooming in on me, but it's just a pain, and I wish people would just stop being people. if you know what I mean. That's one of the obstacles, especially when sometimes you don't actually notice and you think, right, that's really good footage. I've just got a really good review, because I just do everything off the cuff, speaking wise. I don't actually plan what I'm going to say. And then I look in the background and some wanker's just gone and done a rude hand gesture, or it's just...
I think I'll be quite lucky there that I'm actually sitting in the disabled section, because I'll not get a lot of that. Do you know what I mean?
You'll actually get people that respect what you're doing.
Because the people at the DSA will know what I'm doing, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
but, no, to be fair, like 90% of people in the stand will probably know what I'm doing now as well.
Right.
Which is why I actually go up to the back of the east stand now, and so there's just a white wall, and I've just got the white wall behind me. So I'm just sitting talking, but people still come up and try and get in the shot. And it's okay if we're winning like 2 or 3-0 and we're all happy and it's all fine. It's all good intentioned. But if we're losing 1-0 or 2-0 against Celtic or Rangers, I'm wanting to do a serious report, because I know there's going to be more people watching, and I know it's going to be better views than that. So I want to look actually serious about it. And then people are sitting moaning or trying to get in the shot. I'm just like, fuck off.
I know. Fucking leave me alone.
Because most of the time, people will sit and just look at you if you're doing something out of the ordinary.
Right.
Right. The teams have been announced. We'll go with the Aberdeen team first. Joe Lewis in goal. Hoban, Considine, Hedges, Taylor, Cosgrove, Ferguson, Wright, Kennedy, McCrory, and Watkins. And as for Celtic, Bain and goals, Duffy, Bitton, Brown, Christie, Rogic, Edward, El-Younousi, Frimpong, McGregor, and Laxalt.
What do you make of that then?
I don't know what to make of that. Like, once I see the actual formation in that, because I can't tell. But once I see the formations, I might have a better idea. Sean Dolan says that's some team for Celtic have for the semi. I mean, I don't see much difference to Thursday night. I mean, one of your mates, wee Ben, was in one of your Livy vlogs. Livy?
Huh?
Ben? What?
I don't know.
I don't understand. 3-1 Celts. Dogsy, what's your take? My head says 3-1 Celts. My heart says 2-1 Aberdeen.
I'm praying for the Killie goal here for my kitten. For the great Kilmarnock draw.
Good afternoon, Lee. How's it going? Gogsy and Stevie, how are you today?
I'm good. Good, Lee. Hope you enjoy your birthday the other week as well. The other day, should I say.
15 minutes to go. Favourite well player? At the moment, probably Declan Gallagher.
No, Alan Campbell for me.
I would say Alan Campbell, but I'm closer to Declan than I am to Alan. Like I've only spoken to Alan on one occasion.
No, I don't even judge it on knowing. I just, in terms of what they do in the pitch, man, I just love Alan Campbell's work. Like.
Yeah, me too. Like, I mean, I think he's our best player, but I don't often judge it on like our best player. Like when Richard Tate was at the club,
he was my favourite.
Yeah, he was my favourite, just because whenever he had the chance, he would come up and speak to me.
Mm-hmm. Aye, no, he's an absolute gentleman. I sat beside him at the Player of the Year night. I think it was 2017. I want to say. Right, 2016-17 season at Player of the Year night, and he was telling me a story about when he played against Juan Mata.
Oh yeah, because he played for Cambridge at
It
Old
was when he
Trafford.
was at. Oh, it was Cambridge, right? I'm thinking Southend. He wasn't even at Southend. I think.
Nah, it's Cambridge.
Cambridge. He's mad. It's just frightening. But no, it was just to the stories that he had, and he's a gentleman as well. Do you know what I mean? As
Oh,
you
yeah.
say, just get time for everybody. And I remember at Livingston, Connor Salmon came on in the League Cup game that we won 1-0, and the fans were booing him. And he comes on to me and he goes, "Stephen, why the fuck are they booing him?" I'm like, "I don't know." Because he was obviously taking a throw in, right beside where I was. I was like, "What the fuck are you asking me for? I don't know." But you know the worst thing is, right? Gogsy, I started to boo and then Richard turned around and I stopped.
Oh, dear me.
I was like, boo, and then he turned around and I was like, oh.
We potential claim for a penalty for Rangers.
That would have been soft, I think.
I mean, I didn't see the highlights too much, but I think the Killie player got the ball first.
Aye, I think you're right. I think he just nicks the ball and then gets the player. Killie been unlucky today because I don't think Rangers have really created much in terms of cut chances. I mean, they had the shot for Kent.
Yeah. Roberts, Itten and Morelos have been shocking time to take them both off and bring on Defoe or Roof or for Alfredo and Hadji. We'll see. Random Bar, I was just saying that in one of your vlogs at Almondvale, one of my mates. Right, okay. Is sitting behind you. That's fine. That's fine. We've got a really interesting comment from Luke Carroll. Once COVID and stuff is completely away, will Passamic ever be recorded together in the flesh? I've not actually got any plans for bringing Passamic. Like this was only meant to be a quick fix until we could actually go back to watching games. Because if this was just a regular season, I'd probably just upload once or twice a week, and it would be the Motherwell game and maybe one other game that I would attend, and that would probably be it. But because of how well this is done, we could
be a Sunday feature.
Yeah, we could keep it to a regular feature for sure. To perhaps covering games that we wouldn't geographically be close enough to actually attend, and games that might actually sort of do well for the channel. But I don't see us getting say a studio together and just recording a podcast live, because we've got people that from all over the shop. Like Stevie's in Glasgow, I'm in Fife. Yep. We've got Matthews all the way down south.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Fraser who's in basically Alloa.
And then you've got Kobe in Aberdeen.
Exactly. So it wouldn't be feasible just to go meet up one day, because it would literally have to be a whole day of basically recording. And I mean, as much as I'd love that, none of us are actually in the position to be doing this full time. Even though I'm pretty much doing YouTube full time at the moment.
No, Gogsy, there might be a time in the future. You know what I'm talking about.
Hopefully. In an ideal world, I'd love to be in this position in the future, doing full time YouTube, because then I'm basically in charge of my own content. I can do whatever I want as long as it's making money. But
yeah, definitely.
But for now, well, I'm starting to think like that, because I'm thinking, well, what videos actually going to do well? What videos not actually worth my time doing? But at the moment, I don't see Pass the Mic being recorded in the flesh. I think it's just a webcam series.
Yeah, but as you say, it's something to fill the gap while we're in this period that we're in.
Yeah, which has been a really good substitute, I think. Because, I mean, the cast we've got for Pass the Mic wouldn't be a usual vlog cast, because it would just be the guys that I sit with every week.
Yeah. Oh man. By the way, Kilmarnock have a free kick on my screen in a really dangerous position, but I'll let you watch to see if it's going to happen.
Surely once COVID is away, Gogsy will be at games. I know it will be difficult and stuff, but didn't expect it to be a weekly thing. I mean, maybe like at the Euros or World Cup. Well, I can see that happening, perhaps. Like, oh, you sit down and just have a live watch along. I mean, we could do, but I mean, I actually want to go to the Euros. Like, even if Scotland don't qualify, I want to be there. I want to be there. Like, I think hopefully I'll be in a capacity to actually go to games as a professional, like as an actual media person. Hopefully,
Yeah.
That in my opinion, that's my aim.
I'd just love to go and be able to watch Scotland at a major finals. Could you imagine? It'd be fantastic.
Capturing that footage alone, that would be absolutely amazing.
Oh man!
Good save by McGregor.
That was a good save. I think if it's just he's fortunate it's right relatively in central. But a good strike as well for Brophy.
Yeah. Look, Carol, but I keep up the good work. But thanks for the comment. That's a really good comment. Because it goes to show that there's people actually thinking about the show and thinking, well, what happens if this is a thing or whatever. But I'm going to put that in the chat, show that to everyone.
By the way, it's fairly raining now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's absolutely. Yeah. Rangers have 6 minutes plus stoppage to hold on.
Kilmarnock are pressing though.
Yeah, sure are. What's he given? Is it a free kick to Rangers?
Yep. I think it was.
We'll see it again. Yeah, that was a foul.
I mean, the neutral looking for the not really neutral looking for the Koopman me wants to say it was never a free kick, but nah, it was a free kick.
Yeah. Look, Carol, that Scotland-England game, if Scotland qualify, yeah. I mean, looking at it from my perspective, I mean, I want to hopefully get the chance to go to that game. If Scotland qualify, like I'm part of the Tartan Army. I'll hopefully get to be able to go. But if that's not the case, then we'll still be able to do a live stream. I mean, we've got the token Englishman and Matthew, of course, will be sitting talking about it, and that'll probably be the most viewed live stream that we'll have done. So from a creative perspective, I mean, there's certainly a lot of ways I can talk about that game coming up. But on you go, Stephen.
I would sell my wheelchair to get to that game. Although that would defeat the purpose because I wouldn't be able to get to the game without my wheelchair. So. but no, it's a game that I would not miss.
Oh, definitely.
I would need to go to it. I went to the one down in Wembley. I've been to Wembley twice for an England-Scotland game.
Aye.
The two ones that were played there. The 3-2 game that we beat was a lot more enjoyable than the one with they absolutely done us.
Aye, we battered them 0-3.
Aye, well, I know, but like, I thought the game at Hampden though, that was something special. When Griffiths scored the two free kicks, it's got to be up there in the best games that I've ever been to. I think it's probably the best, even though I was pure deflated at the end. The feeling when the 2 goals went in was something I've never felt in football before or since.
Absolutely. Bill, can I have a thought on Jake Carroll? I think Jake Carroll's a really good player. It's just a shame he's been out injured so long, but when he does come back, it'll be difficult for him to get back into the team because last season he was a shoo-in for a starting 11 spot. But right now, I think Nathan McGinley's a great signing.
Oh, he's been terrific for us. He's been absolutely terrific. He's quite quick as well for a big guy.
Yeah.
Who's been the best signing of the lot of them for you? The ones that we've signed?
This season?
Yep.
Our best signing this season's been, in my opinion, Stephen Robinson. Or keeping him. No, but on the pitch, I actually want to say I highly rate our new goalkeeper, Chapman.
Oh, he's looked solid for he's come in. But I just think I probably would give it to Nathan McGinley as the best signing actually that we've made.
Yeah. See, as we've only seen Chapman for about one match and a half, and he's not conceded.
Aye, I know, but he looks big and strong, but that's the thing. We've got Jordan Archer sitting on the bench.
I know.
What a signing that is.
It's a great signing. Look, Carol, it would be down at Wembley. Yes, it would be down at Wembley, which would be absolutely fun. I would look forward to a trip to Wembley more than a trip to Hampden.
It's truly an experience, but we did it wrong the last time. Me and my mates, we done it wrong, and I'll stick by that. We should have went. We should have went down the day before. I went down the day before. Well, the day of for the friendly. I got down there in the morning, because a big part of doing something like that is soaking in the atmosphere beforehand.
Yeah.
Then we didn't get a chance to do that. And alright, if Scotland won, it would have been amazing because after it, we'd have been able to party. But you see, when you get beat like that, you're just not in the mood, mate. You're just not in the mood to do anything. On you go.
For me, for a trip to Wembley or for an away game for Scotland, it's all about getting there the day before and just soaking the atmosphere. Because I went to San Marino to see Scotland play, and it's San Marino, but what me and my granddad did, we went and met some of the Mallow boys at one of the bars in Rimini, where all the Tartan Army was basically congregated, and we all sat and had a drink, and it was a good laugh, and met so many folk that I knew. I was like, okay, so you're here, and it actually felt like it was a Motherwell game at one point because there were so many people from like the Club 100 or whatever, and it was great.
Never seen Scotland play abroad, mate.
Mate, I recommend it. But the thing is, I would probably only really go for the games that are against like the pot 6 or the pot 5 teams because we've got a chance of winning it.
I'm not even worried if we win. I just want to go and get bladdered, mate. I'm going to be honest. I just want to go and get bladdered and just enjoy the occasion. I'd quite like to go to maybe a pot 2 or a pot. Do you know what I mean? No, maybe one that we've got a chance of winning, but one that we're not really expected to win.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just a game like a Poland, for example.
Oh yeah, Poland would be great.
It would have been great to have been there. But no, I've been going to Hampden for 20 years. I've just never been away. I've been to Wembley, but that's kind of
that's sort of a home game in some way, shape, or form. See for the Nations League, like I'd like as soon as the fixtures had been announced, I'd actually mapped out my costs of travel and expenses of each away game. So, for example, we had the Czech Republic away first. It was on a Sunday night, and I was like, right, we'll get there on the Saturday. We'll travel down to Manchester. It's like an 80 quid flight across from Manchester to Prague, and then when we've got Slovakia and Israel this month, I was gonna go right Bratislava, get there the Friday, game on the Saturday, stay over there for Sunday, then the train from Bratislava to Vienna, flight from Vienna to Tel Aviv on the Monday, and just explore and see what's happening, and then get to the game for the Tuesday, and then it'd be flight from Tel Aviv to Vienna, and Vienna back to Edinburgh on the Wednesday. And that was me. I had it all covered. It was only costing me about 600 quid.
There you go, mate.
I had it all planned out, and then COVID.
Aye. But we've got this to look forward to, because I'm not doing anything just now. It gives us a chance to save up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Like that.
Because of my current income, like I'd be able to afford 2 or 3 match days a week, and not have anything to save left.
Just to let you know, it's finished. Rangers 1, Kilmarnock 0.
Yeah, it's not been a great game, has it?
It's not been a great game, but it's a great result and a big result for Rangers.
It is.
And it's a good result for us as well.
It is. I forgot about that.
It's a great result for us because it keeps us level on points with Kilmarnock with a game in hand, and we've got 2 in hand at Dundee United. So we won the 2 games. But that's why we won the 2 games, because they were 6 ahead of Kilmarnock and 4 ahead of Dundee United. And we're right in that mix for the 4th and 4th again.
Yeah.
We'll be right in the mix, mate.
I mean, as I've said the last 2 or 3 weeks, I think we're still dark horses for the top 4.
If we can keep this form going and we can stay clear of injury, mate, we can do it.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. Dual Citizen says, Ginger's Racing, you're a top man, Gogsy. All the best from the Groypers. Thank you. Ollie Watkins has made it 4-2 to Southampton. We'll take that. I'm not celebrating. Only a week and a bit to find out if we will qualify. Aye, we only need 1 win against Slovakia or Israel or both. I've preferred. But aye. As of now, though, we're just coming up to 2 o'clock. The game for Celtic Aberdeen kicks off at 2:30. We'll be going live from 2:15, so it gives me time to prepare for the second live stream. But as of now, we've been joined by Stevie Wheels, and thanks for coming on, man. And we'll see you in a bit. And please do check out A Different View. I don't think I've got the link in the description yet, but I'll put that in for the actual playback. But yes. Anyway, guys, we'll see you later. Take care.